Welcome back to Cryptos R Us. I am George. We're all George. Welcome to another market open stream. I'm just kidding. I'm not streaming, but the US market is about to open, and right now it does look like things are in green, but we have been faked out many, many, many times over this week and last week when it looked like it was going to open green and then it turned deep red. So let's see what happens today. We finally go get a few days of green leading up to 2023. I did notice that Tesla is slightly up this morning in the pre-market. So can it get some sort of recovery? And what about Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin is still holding strong at 16.6, but it has not made any moves either. So will either one be moving up today? Let's wait and see. Now, there are a few other things I did want to mention. Some good things, positive things, of course. There was there was a Bitcoin miner that was going to go into bankruptcy, but now they don't have to anymore because Mike Novogratz is bailing them out. Argo got $100 million injection from Mike Novogratz, so that's good. 65 million towards their facility and 35 million in loan. So right now there are a lot of people that are wondering if the miners are going to make it. Of course, some of the smaller ones probably struggling because Bitcoin's price is low, but the bigger miners, they're doing just fine. They have plenty of money. They have saved up plenty of money over the years. They have plenty of Bitcoin. If they needed to, they could sell, but they're not. So the bigger miners continue to mine while the smaller miners struggle. But now we're seeing some of the big guys coming in and rescuing them. So that overall is pretty positive. And if you look at this, the exchange flow from the miners basically at all-time low, right? So there's this notion that a lot of miners are selling. No, the smaller miners may be, but the larger miners are not selling off right now. You can see this is at a 5-year low. So very, very, very little Bitcoin from the miners are going into the exchanges. So most Bitcoin is still being held by long-term holders, and that is what we want to see. Now, it's not just the long-term holders. Of course, retail investors have been buying and accumulating and holding, right? You can see, according to this, Bitcoin shrimps have accumulated 60,000 Bitcoins in the last 30 days. 60,000, right? And you can see that graph just skyrocket. So there are definitely a lot of people taking advantage right now, buying Bitcoin and other crypto while it's low. And according to Glassnode, now 17% of the entire supply is being held by retail investors. That's a good amount and it's growing, but predominantly Bitcoin is being held by the big whales, the long-term holders, and the miners. Retail investors are still coming in, and that number is growing by leaps and bounds. So that is also positive. These are all positive things for Bitcoin, things that you should look forward to as you continue to hold, because just imagine as the supply diminishes with each and every halving event, right? As the holders increase, as the institutional adoption and retail adoption increases, right? Bitcoin is going to go higher. It's going to become the scarcest asset that we have today and tomorrow. And then lastly, just a few things. I did see this. Kraken is pulling out of Japan, right? Probably a lot of scrutiny in Japan right now because of the FTX collapse. So I'm thinking this has something to do with it. But with Kraken out of Japan, you only got one major exchange left, and that's Binance, right? No, they have a few others, but overall, I think there's a lot of scrutiny in a lot of countries right now due to what happened with FTX, unfortunately. And speaking of FTX, the U.S. Justice Department is finally going to look at that mysterious hack that happened, right? The 600 something million that just disappeared, supposedly, according to SBF, that someone, stole the private key and that's it, right? But now that is being investigated and they are looking into it. So is it SBF or Gary or one of the guys themselves or someone else? I guess we will see. We will see soon. And that is pretty much it for today, guys. There's not that much news. we will see how the market opens. We'll see how Bitcoin reacts to the market today, right? But overall, Bitcoin strong as ever. Fundamentals of Bitcoin continue to go higher. So stay strong, my friends, and smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for my future video. Take care. Bye bye.